What up, dudes? Week 3 of change coming at you. So, today we're talking about what happens when our external world changes around us. Growing up, I only moved twice from like the ages of 0 to 18. And one of the times I was like 2 or 3, so I don't even remember our first house. So, I was pretty fortunate. The one time we did move, it was from Lakeside all the way to Santee, which not that far, but there was no like cell phone, social media. So even though I didn't move physically far, it still meant like completely new friend group, completely new people. Um, so that was a change, and change is interesting because there's an element of ourselves that is like our core self. It's just who we are. But there's also an element of like, I distinctly remember having this thought when I got to school for my first day of 8th grade at my new school. I thought, no one knows anything about me. No one knows what I did in my old school, who I was friends with, what I was into. I could kind of be anybody. Uh, and that's both nerve wracking and exciting. And I wouldn't say that I became a completely different person because, like I said, there's like a core element of who we are, but there's also an element of like our surroundings shaping us, right? It's like a balance. Everything is a balance. Um, our external and our internal work together to give us an identity. So, for our Bible story today, let's talk about Moses, right? Now, Moses also had like two big moves in his life, and one he probably didn't remember. When Moses was born, the Pharaoh was killing all male Jewish babies. And so, in order to save him, his sister sent him down the river in a basket. And the Pharaoh's daughter scooped him up and took him home and took care of him. Um, and so Moses was raised as an Egyptian, even though he was Jewish. And so his entire life was not only being uh, Egyptian in like this place of privilege and being above the other Jews, but he was also a very wealthy Egyptian, right? So he kind of had life on easy street. He was wealthy, he had authority, he could kind of do whatever he wanted. But then one day, Moses sees Jewish people being overly hurt by a Egyptian slave master, and so Moses kills the slave master, but then is found out, and so he has to run for his life. Now, all of his past, him being raised Egyptian, him being part of the ruling class, him being wealthy, him having authority, all of that is stripped away. And his new identity is a Jewish criminal fugitive, right? And so he goes on the run, and for many years, he is a shepherd for his father in law. Shepherds, I know, like, we always like in the Bible, like, Jesus is our shepherd, David was a shepherd. But the point of those people being shepherds is that being a shepherd is actually a lowly, stinky, dirty job, right? Um, no shade to janitors, but it would probably have a similar like perception. A job that's very necessary, but maybe not a very desirable job. And so Moses went from like having it all to living in the country, watching his father's sheep in this dirty, gross, stinky job. His external world completely changed, complete 180. But I truly believe, like, we actually don't get a lot of like insight into Moses's mindset during this time. But it's not while he's in Egypt with pre-existing power and access to the Pharaoh's ear that God uses Moses to free the Israelites. That's not when it happens. It's when Moses is sent away from Egypt, not allowed to be in Egypt, on the run from Egypt, having no power, having no authority. Then God asked them to do this amazing thing. And so there's something vital that happens when our world changes around us. Because, like I said, right, when I went from 7th grade to 8th grade, I had this like fresh start. If I had people that I didn't feel comfortable being around, if I had behaviors that I wasn't proud of, I could choose to not do those things anymore. So having your world around you change might be difficult and completely disorienting, but it is a chance to be closer to your true self. So I know some of you are moving from 8th grade into high school. Some of you are moving on to college or to a job. These are times and chances where you get to decide, who am I going to be? Because your external world has completely changed. And people's expectations of you, people's assumptions of you, they don't have those anymore. So you can listen to that true inner core and decide, who do I want to be? And you can choose your friends, who you want to be around, that will mold and shape you into someone that you would like to be. So external change in the world, always difficult, always disorienting. We always prefer the comfort. But I truly believe God can use it to shape you into the person He wants you to be, so that He can use you to do amazing, great things. So let's change week 3. Next week we'll focus on internal change. We've kind of talked about a lot, but we'll just talk more in detail about what it looks like, what it feels like, and what you can hold on to when so many things are shifting and changing. So that'll be next week. I hope you all are having a wonderful week, a wonderful summer. I hope you're staying safe. If you're celebrating this weekend, be safe. Don't go crazy. All right? See you later.